What's up, you guys? Happy Friday, September the 4th, 2020. Steven Muehlhausen here. Walkway to Fight Club. I also work for DAZN.com. I work for Sporting News, and a yit came by in Kaye. Wow, what a interesting day, and we'll get into all that in a few moments. But before we start everything and talk about what ended up being a very interesting SmackDown, you can find me right there, bam, whoop, on Twitter at SMuehlhausenJR. If you are watching via the way of YouTube, just click that subscribe button. Simple as that. Subscribe to the channel, bam, subscribe, boom, like, or a thumbs up, whatever you want to call it. I always say likes. I'm used to Facebook doing that. If you're watching via Facebook Live, it's simple, guys. Very, very simple. First, you give a reaction to this video. Good, bad, or indifferent. Then you just click that. You like the Walkway to Fight Club Facebook page. Then, the key, hit that follow button as well. It's so simple. It's so simple, my 4-year-old can do it. And by the way, man, I actually miss my family. I'm going to admit it. I do. They're gone. My wife and my 2 kids, they are at our summer home, our vacation. Well, I don't even know what you call it. And I miss them like crazy. Oh, I did again. I hit the wrong button. Muehlhausen. I miss them. I miss them immensely. I'm by myself. You think when you're by yourself, you just think it's a ton of fun. You do. In all honesty, it's really not. I'm bored. After I was done working today, working hard, sportingnews.com, DAZN, working hard, baby. A very good interview, by the way, with Kevin Koo from MLW, their newest signing, and you can catch MLW on DAZN. Now, a really good interview. But yeah, I thought being home by yourself would be cool, with no kids, no wife. But not really. Kind of sucks. Bored out of my mind. When they leave, I get bored. Do you guys feel the same way? Because I know I do. I didn't think I would ever be bored. Like you envision hustling. And guys, you can understand this. Women, you can understand this if your husbands are gone and your children are gone. And you're like, yeah, I'm by myself. What am I going to do? And I'm like, I worked all day. I work tomorrow night. I work a half day on Sunday. Bored out of my mind. Luckily, I had SmackDown to watch. Luckily, this day in wrestling ended up being more intriguing than I ever thought it would be. And we will start with this unfortunate topic. Came out earlier today. It was reported by my good friends at Wrestling Inc. Vince McMahon to ban talent from using third-party apps like Twitch and Cameo. I didn't stutter when I said that. Read that headline. I'm trying not to be funny, but yeah, say this humanly possible. Now, here is what was said. Vince McMahon sent a letter to talent on Thursday saying they have 30 days to stop engaging with third parties or else face fines, suspensions, and even termination at WWE's discretion. It's unclear what third party means, though, if you really sit and think about it. Got a lot of talent that has Twitch channels, YouTube channels, Cameo channels. There was a meeting on Sunday before Payback about the reinvention of the product, where it came up that WWE, and read this, owns the real names of talent in addition to their character names. Here's part of the letter. Some of you are engaged with outside third parties using your name and likeness in ways that are detrimental to our company. It is imperative that these activities be terminated within the next 30 days. So by Friday, October the 2nd, continued violations will result in fines, suspensions, or termination at WWE's discretion. Wrestling Inc. also reports that McMahon wrote that these actions are necessary as part of WWE's rebuilding process as they enter, in quotes, enter the next phase of WWE. Think about that hot shit for a second. Think about that. And I see we got people jumping in. Leave comments. Leave questions. Please tell me what you think of this insanity. Now, I have looked over, like I really wanted to do this on a Friday. Usually Fridays are days where us reporters love, because you can kind of relax, because especially with the big weekend. You got UFC tomorrow night, you got All Out tomorrow night. So you're thinking, man, you got some good boxing, you got boxing on ESPN tomorrow. And I'm like, man, these are nights where like I got to cover UFC tomorrow night for DAZN. And I'm like, man, I get to relax. I get to have some fun. I can just relax. Maybe have a beer. And then I got to work. This is some boo-hoo nonsense. Now, here's what I know. I've done some fishing, talked to some talent. There's some talent extremely pissed off. There's a couple I talked to that, shockingly to me, really had no problem with what WWE did. And herein lies the problem with that. These guys are, and it's in their contracts, and these contracts are so double-edged to where they're classified as independent contractors. Then the boot, it says they own your character name and your real name. What? And there's a whole bunch of other jargon, and I'm not going to bore you with. That's the scope. Now, and I've seen some media, and I'm not going to name names, because I don't sit here and I don't name names, especially in the media. Because the wrestling media, they get enough of a bad rap to begin with. Unfortunately, and I think it's a load of shit. But I've seen some places that I like, people I respect because they work hard, defending this. Oh, well, they signed the contract. What? Yes, I will say, no one's forcing you to sign these contracts. I get it. That part, not wrong. Not wrong. Not wrong at all. No one's holding this talent hostage. Yes, they are making six-figure money, most of them. They're not wrong on that one. But they are not independent contractors. They say they are, but they're employees. Plain and simple. They're scheduled to do media interviews. They can't do anything without WWE's permission. They're lucky they could take a shit without not having to get Vince's permission. Vince, can I take a shit? It's kind of how that's how it is. It's being a prisoner. Yeah, you're making great money, but you're being held more or less as a hostage. It's a hostage situation. You know, these people work hard. Right now, there's no house shows. Merchandise revenue's down. That's public. That's for public record on the merchandise. There's no house shows, so who knows when? Probably, you have to think early 2021. But yet, you're telling this talent, hey, you're losing out on money, so you can't do anything. You can't try to earn extra income. Sorry, not everyone's making Roman Reigns money, Brock Lesnar money, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch money, Charlotte Flair money. Even if that wasn't the case, guys, telling talent you can't go do stuff on your own free will is a load of crap. That doesn't make you an independent contractor. That makes you an employee. Okay, if someone wants to tell me that I'm wrong, please tell me. Behold me into that. Ask questions. Now, I've been asked today, God, my phone's been blowing up all day. I've been asked if this revolves around AJ Styles revealing on his Twitch channel that he contracted COVID-19 back in June. I have asked, I don't know. But they had the meeting on Sunday. So I'm going to go with no. But the letter came out on Thursday. So I can speculate, yeah. And it wouldn't shock me. The way WWE has been telling talent, do not reveal you had COVID-19 or have it in any way, shape, or form. You know, I'm going to read something here, and people. So, let's see. PW Insider reports the vague wording of the letter is worrying a lot of people in the company. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. My computer's messing up today big time. Do apologize. Okay, there we go. There we go, guys. Sorry about that. I do apologize. There we go. There we go. Some talent have already reacted negatively to the request, feeling it was in effect an order to shut down the personal streaming channels, even though there's no confirmation that this is actually the case. Some talent noted that they are using some of these platforms like Cameo and YouTube as a way to make additional revenue during the COVID-19 pandemic while WWE stopped touring with live events, which cuts out bonuses and merchandise earnings. PW Insider notes that while they are heavily merchandise talents like AJ Styles, who regularly streams his own content, some of the wrestlers who aren't on the same level as Styles have used the third-party platforms to build their own brands, interact with fans, and make some extra money under their real names to try and help offset the loss of revenue that came with the pandemic. It's obvious that WWE is just trying to protect what they feel is their own intellectual properties, something all entertainment companies take seriously. There are grumblings among wrestlers about how they feel WWE is hurting their ability to make money outside of the company in a time where their own WWE earnings are down due to the coronavirus. PW Insider also notes that some wrestlers push the idea that losing freedom to promote themselves while working for WWE makes working somewhere else seem more enticing, at least as long as they are allowed more freedom. Over the last 24 hours, there has been a lot of talk among talents who are thinking about pushing back against the latest edict from WWE officials. They're actually required to shut down their personal streaming channels, which has not been confirmed at this rate. Look, plain and simple, and some of that I already said. Talent is very unhappy. Will they push back? That's the $1 million question here. Now we can say, well, yeah, of course they should. Because they should. Damn right they should. They're not making as much money right now while this company's making record-setting revenue. Think about that for a minute before everyone gets all excited and thinking this is just a WWE bash fest. Because it's not. This is where talent has to fight back. This talent, and everyone, for all the people that say, oh, Vince McMahon, WWE, let me live out my dream to be a wrestler. And don't get me wrong, they're not wrong in that essence. But when you're telling people they cannot make a living, hey, you can't make extra money. You can't try to, you're only working 1 day a week. You're working 4 times a month. Some are working 5 days a month. You can't go make any extra money. You are beholden to me. Talent isn't slaves. It's not. They're not slaves. They are human beings. Wrestlers need to form a union. I don't know how. These are guys and girls who work hard, who bust their butts for Vince McMahon. Every day. Plain and simple. Answer that question. I want to see some questions. I want to see some comments on it. Should WWE talent form a union? Absolutely 100%. Why not? They're independent contractors who are treated as employees, except they don't get profit sharing, medical, dental, vision insurance. Insurance for wrestlers is out of the wazoo. Thousands. 5 figures. Think about that. 5 figures. And I'm not kidding. I wish I was. I've had talent tell me they pay over 5 figures, low 5 figures, but still 5 figures for insurance. That's ridiculous. No profit sharing. You tell me you can't give the talent stock options? At the very worst, stock options. A lot of people jumping in and out. Leave a question or comment. Should WWE talent form a union? In the latest news of WWE chairman Vince McMahon sending a letter to talent on Thursday, banning them from using third-party apps like Twitch, Cameo, YouTube, and any other third-party app out there. It's so absurd that it's absurd for one, where you think talent, you look at the UFC, and this is the comparison people have, I made earlier today on Twitter. And I had people from the UFC, like UFC fighters, messaging me, like, "Hey, what is going on?" So I'm sitting there explaining this to talent from the UFC and Bellator, and they're like, "What?" They didn't even know that. They're like, "Man, UFC doesn't." Yeah, we're independent contractors, But the UFC allows us, if we want to do our own podcasts, YouTube shows, we want to do Twitches, cameos, or whatever, they allow us to do that stuff. We don't need to. We don't have to seek their permission. How? And then they were baffled. They're like, "How is that possible?" I'm like, "I don't know." UFC fighters got it bad too because they have to wear a uniform, and they're losing sponsorship money, which I think the UFC fighters should form a sponsor. I think MMA fighters in general should form a union, not just UFC, but if we're talking just the UFC. But they have to form a union. Why not form a union? There needs to be pushback. Will talent do it? That's the key. And I've heard these things, and I've talked to talent, high-end talent, that have said, we want to react, but we're afraid of losing our jobs. But now where you look at wrestling's at now, if there's a time to take a stand, you do it now. There's even during a pandemic, there's still places to go. You can go ply your craft. The pandemic isn't going to be like this forever. It's not. Plain and simple. See people keep jumping in, people keep jumping out. Leave a question and comment, guys. On the latest news with WWE talent, should WWE talent form a union in lieu of Chairman Vince McMahon banning talent from using third-party apps like Twitch and Cameo? He's giving them 30 days by Friday, October 2nd. If they do not do it, they can face fines, suspensions, or even termination at WWE's discretion. I wish I wasn't reading this. Came out midday. What time did this come out today? I'm going to look at them. Let's see. See if there's a time stamp anymore. It was late. It was like early afternoon. But they should. You look at the UFC, you look at WWE, and they should. This talent should. It's the only way. Okay, you fire these guys. You fire talent. Talent will have somewhere to go. Whether it's AEW, whether it's NWA, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, there is places to go. Trust me, there's places to go. I want to read some of these Twitter reactions here before we go into SmackDown here, because I got some very interesting reactions. Okay. Enzo, third parties. Fred Rozier, known as Darren Young. I thought we were putting smiles on people's faces. Mick Foley. I think Mick Foley had the funniest one. Banning wrestlers from making extra money on third-party deals, Twitch, YouTube, Cameo, strikes me as a crummy thing to do. Just my opinion. Then he subtweets. Don't worry, I'm still able to do book Cameo videos. Go ahead and book one at cameo.com/McFoley. I love McFoley. CM Punk. All right, guys, girls, are they going to fire everyone? Just keep doing you. Don't worry. With the wink. He's not wrong. What is Vince McMahon going to do? You going to fire everybody and then bring up everybody from NXT who's not ready? What are they going to do? CM Punk brings up a very good point. He's not wrong. What are they going to do? Fire everybody? No. If enough talent pushes back, he's not going to do a damn thing. Plain and simple. He's not. All right, got some. The Hoots Podcast. Dig the Miz interview. Thank you. Thank you, sir. That was a fun one. To my surprise, that was a good interview. The Miz rocked it. That was a ton of fun. That is on the YouTube page. I'm getting asked when it's going to be available on audio. I know a lot of people haven't been wanting to listen, but don't have all that time for YouTube. The interview, I will put it up on Tuesday. Holiday weekend. I don't really want to put stuff up during the holidays and on Monday. I may put it up Monday, possibly Monday, but more than likely Tuesday. Dave Sadler. Steve. What's up, Sadler? Richard Mcphee. They're independent contractors. We'll read this. I'll put this here. Richard Mcphee. They're independent contractors. If the wrestlers pushed Vince, he does not. If the wrestlers pushed, Vince does not have a legal leg to stand on. This is true. Because if you look at what the situation when Brock Lesnar first left WWE in 2004, looked like he was going to come back, then he didn't, and he wanted to do MMA. They got mad. He did New Japan. They were trying to push back. He went and sued him, won the case, and then was a lot. Then the non-compete got waived, and he went off on his merry way. This is not wrong here. And by the way, Richard, I like your screen thing there. Your whatever they call it, cover photo. Tupac's man. I want to read this real quick. Everybody's at war with different things. I can't read that. I'm at war with something heart something. But no, that Tupac, man. I love me some Tupac. I'm gonna blare some California love tonight. But no, this is absolutely correct. That's a great point by Richard. They can't. That's why I say these wrestlers need to push back. Richard's not wrong. CM Punk is not wrong. Wrestlers need to push back. Let's see. It's a great job by Mick Foley. Luke Gallows. Fuck them. Renee Paquette. So, guess now would be a good time to launch my Twitch and Cameo. Matt Hardy, it's treating me great. Internet, no, he's responding to somebody. Internet, nobody. I'm living my best life and having a blast. Plus, I can still do my third-party stuff. I'm making bank. I am Matt Hardy. I'd ask who you are, troll, but nobody cares. Get a book cameo from me, and I'll roast you there, too. WWE social media folks aren't allowed to mention talent like Tubi Mero, which is Rusev, because they not only exist in the entire professional wrestling universe, as opposed to solely WWE. It's just their policy. I love how AEW acknowledges all of pro wrestling, competition or not. And here was the most intriguing one to me. It took a while. Paige. Nope. And from noted wrestling journalist Gary Cassidy, Paige has changed her Twitch account from official page WWE to Syria Official. Because her name is Syria Knight. Hi, I'm WWE Superstar Paige. That's it. Come hang. Nearly 127,000 followers. This is going to get nasty. Plain and simple. Let's just call it like it is. It's going to get nasty. Before it gets better. Telling you right now. When you got a bunch of ticked off talent, that usually, but let's see. It's going to be interesting. Is all it will, and we'll leave it at that. All right, let's get to SmackDown. Thoughts on SmackDown? I thought SmackDown was a good show. A lot of good. I can't really, and I'm looking through my notes now. There was really nothing wrong with SmackDown. The worst thing about SmackDown was Michael Cole. And this is why. When the four-way was originally announced as Matt Riddle, Baron Corbin, Sheamus, and Big E, Michael Cole called it one of the biggest matches in the history of SmackDown. What the hell? How Michael Cole said that, I will say this. I will give Michael Cole credit because Michael Cole said it. with enthusiasm he inflected, to my big damn surprise. It's like faking an orgasm. If anyone knows how to fake an orgasm, it is Michael Cole's the best in wrestling. I'll give Michael Cole credit for that. Good Lord. Good Lord. And then, where's it? I'm looking at my notes here, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. We got a comment. Actually, before we keep going, Richard asked, and this is a good question before we get more into SmackDown. Richard says, you think Xavier Woods, that built up his up, down, down show, is going to scrap his channel? He will never. He worked too hard on that channel. Now, I've been asked about this too. The channel has an affiliation with WWE. It does. They don't own it. There's like an affiliation. If there's someone who is going to cause a ruckus, and I've heard this from numerous people today, in and out of the company, it's Xavier Woods. Richard, that's a great point. And he holds a lot of the cards in this situation. As you look at his gaming channel, his YouTube channel, he's got it going on. And if anyone can cause a stink on this situation, I'm telling you guys right now, and I know this on very good authority, it is him. He was at SmackDown today. He was doing Talking Smack, which will air tomorrow on. You'll be available tomorrow morning on the WWE Network. I know he was there. Whether he caused a stink about it, I don't know. But he's got a lot of influence back there, more than people think. And I think how this situation plays out is going to be by the stink he causes and AJ Styles. There's a lot of talent not happy, including a couple top names in the company about this situation. So that's a great statement there and a great question. But let's go back to Michael Cole's absurdity, because Michael Cole never seems to amaze me. And I know people say, oh, Michael Cole's got a tough job. Now, replacing Jim Ross, yeah, hard, extremely difficult. He juggles a lot. I'm not saying he doesn't. Michael Cole works very hard. I'm not going to take that away from Michael, because he does work hard. But as an announcer, he sucks. When you let Michael Cole be Michael Cole is great. But you can tell when Michael Cole is overproduced, or just produced in general. And it came off like that tonight. Because there's no way in hell this 4-way was going to be one of the biggest matches in the history of SmackDown. It definitely wasn't that when Big E got taken out. Then you're like, okay, you're full of shit. Go screw yourself. Well, not go screw yourself. I don't want to say that. Let's see. Or he said it somewhere else. So, hold on. Let's see. Because the Sasha Banks, Bayley versus Baszler and Nia for the SmackDown Women's Tag Team titles has a chance to be the greatest tag team title match in the history of SmackDown. What? Don't get me wrong. That match at Payback was pretty damn good. Not going to lie. It was good. Not going to joke. But I will say it wasn't bad. The ending was spectacular. But it wasn't the greatest tag team match in the history of SmackDown. It wasn't. But the rest of the show was good. And you know what? I led this with the headline. We're going to go here. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I'm just going to go over the key points. I'm not going to bore you guys with all that nonsense. You guys are here to... Bayley turned on Sasha. Now, this was awesome. And you knew this was coming. It was just a matter of when. And I remember I talked to Bayley right before WrestleMania. Right? Was I right before? Right after WrestleMania. I think it was like 2 days after. And I asked her, I'm like, especially after she hit Sasha and didn't help Sasha at WrestleMania. And I'm like, what about a program? She really didn't do many interviews, so I thought I'd ask. And you could tell, like, in her head, shit, yeah, heck yeah. I'm going to put that audio, actually. The audio is up with that interview with Bayley. It is on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. A very good interview with Bayley. That was done like in April. I put that with the interview I did that the next day with Johnny Gargano before he faced Tommaso Ciampa. So please go listen to that, because I think that was a very intriguing interview, and that was a ton of fun. So you could tell something was up when, and I put this on Twitter. Walk into the ring, Bayley's holding up the belt, and Sasha's just staring at it, and you're like, okay, it's on now. You're like, okay. And you can see Bayley kind of gave a little, I watched it back, and Bayley gave her a little side eye. Banks injured the leg during the match. She couldn't put it when she got Baszler in the Banks statement. She couldn't really get all of her might into it. Got broken up. She was fighting as hard as she could. They did like a double powerbomb to Nia. And then Banks' leg was hurt. Baszler attacked Bayley. Nia did splash off the top to pin Banks and Bayley. Sasha's holding the leg. They go to commercial. I'm thinking, okay, they're not going to. So I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, man, she's looking at her like something's going to go down here. Didn't happen. Came back from commercial, and I'm like, oh, it's going down. Got on the edge of my couch. Doctors are telling me, like, oh, no, push them all away. Bayley tells them, get out of the ring. And I'm like, oh, yeah. They sit and roll under the ring. Bayley rolls under. Banks trying to, and bam! Heel turn. Smashing her leg against the apron, put her leg on the steel stairs. A pretty bad kick. After I was like, oh, come on. Bayley, come on. I'm like, where's Bayley? Where's the heel hate Bayley? Threw her back. Just proceeded to kick her ass. Put the chair. And usually when they put the chair in the head, it usually never works. This time it did. And I'm like, yeah. To me, this heel turn was done. This turn was done too early. I don't like it. The only way this makes sense is if they go into WrestleMania. If this goes to Clash Champions, it means nothing. We should now not see Sasha Banks until the Royal Rumble. Can WWE actually hold off that long? WrestleMania should be Bayley and Sasha. Plain and simple. And thank you for the love, everybody. People watching, come on in. Join in on the fun. It's Friday night. The mood is right, baby. It's a 9:57. We're having fun. I'm drinking the water. I got no wife. Got no kids. Till Monday. Let's have some fun. Leave some questions. Leave some comments. Go to YouTube. If you're watching via YouTube, just subscribe to the channel, The Walkway to Fight Club. Hit that subscribe button, and please give a thumbs up and like the video. Give me a thumbs down. Tell me why you give me a thumbs down. I want honest feedback. If you're watching via Facebook Live, it's simple, guys. Very simple. Just give a reaction to the video. Hey, I got a couple likes. I got a love. Give a reaction. Good, bad, or indifferent. Like the Facebook page and also follow the page as well. A lot of cool stuff coming up. So please, it's definitely appreciated. But no, done too early unless the end game is still going to be WrestleMania. This is a WrestleMania-worthy match. That beatdown was a WrestleMania-worthy match. Can they keep her off till the Royal Rumble? We're going to see. I don't have faith in them, but they've done some really good stuff lately. And this beatdown was extremely well done. I thought a great job by WWE. Before we get to the absurdity and what happened in the main event, I got some very interesting thoughts on the main event. It's kind of going to go over a couple things here. I love the Roman Reigns Paul Heyman promo. Paul Heyman's a genius. The special counsel. What? I love it. I just loved how Reigns was in front, mean mugging, that serious mean look, and Heyman just cutting this. Paul Heyman is the promo savant. Just love how Paul was in the back. He was about 2 steps behind. Calls himself the special counsel. Says he was in obscurity. Notice how Brock Lesnar's name was not mentioned. Interesting. Because Brock isn't back yet. So maybe they're just kind of, okay. Maybe he's not coming back. He's likely coming back. He was in obscurity, and Roman Reigns pulled him in. Everything he said, like, he enunciated the key points. And that's so key in a promo. The key words you want to hit, you want to inflect. You want to give that emotion. You just don't want to be monotone. That doesn't work. It really doesn't. In this day of age, it doesn't. Hold on. I have my notes here. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Good job by Reigns. Reigns goes, this is my island. When you have this kind of power, all you have to do is show up and win. Believe that. Short, simple, and to the point. Kudos to the big dog there. Great job by Roman Reigns. An even better job by Paul Heyman. If you can find someone that is a better promo in the business than Paul Heyman right now, please tell me who is a better promo than Paul Heyman. I can't find the guy or girl. It's all about a battle for second, in my opinion. Talent should be taking notes. I know talent that has. So you can take that as you will. Reigns right into Jey Uso. Excited to see him. Says, you haven't returned my text. Then wonders what's up with this relationship with Heyman. Tells him don't worry about it, and he's got it. Just kind of out of nowhere, we see Jey Uso. I haven't seen Jey Uso in months. I mean, Machinery and Morrison and Miz match was nothing. Otis got the win. Pinned Miz. But the part I liked was Morrison taking the money, stealing the money in the bank. You're thinking, wait, what? Get out of here. Stole the money in the bank preview. I'm like, this could be cool. John Morrison is money in the bank. That'd be awesome. Maybe you get a battle for the briefcase. I'm like, that'd be solid. I think Morrison deserves it. Otis ain't doing nothing with it right now. Big E's celebrating in the back. And then security guy comes and says, hey, because it's Xavier Woods' birthday. They had a cake. Security guy goes, oh, Xavier Woods has just pulled up, grabs the cake, goes to meet him, gets out to the back lot, and bam! Ass beating time from Sheamus. Bro kick into the steel fence. Throws him on the car, beats his ass. Keeps ramming his head into the top part of the top hood, the hood of the car, and then bam! White noise through the windshield. Extremely well done. Then a lot of people pissed off about that and wondering, well, why would they do that? We want to see Big E because people want to see Big E. When I talked to Miz earlier this week, and you can find it on the YouTube channel. Just go to Walkway to Fight Club Facebook page. I mean, the Walkway to Fight Club YouTube page. Just watch it. Miz gives his candid thoughts on if he, after his 2 segments on Talking Smack with Big E, if he believes Big E is now Universal Championship worthy. I think a very interesting comment made by the Miz. Come back from break. Big E is he's got the boards on him. They're putting a neck brace on. Sheamus does an interview with Kayla Braxton. Says Big E isn't focused on becoming the Universal Champion and lets his friends drag him down. And that is why he beat him down. Saw a moment of weakness and bam, beat his ass. Talk about the tag match. Sami Zayn, after the tag title match, and then the beatdown, Sami Zayn came out. He goes to ring announcer Greg Hamilton. Tells him to call him the Intercontinental Champion. And Hamilton goes, "It wasn't in my notes." It's pretty funny. Wonders why it didn't happen. Gets on the headset. What? And talks to the guy wondering, why didn't you put me as the Intercontinental Champion? This goes like, "Oh, wasn't in my notes." Why is everyone in this notes? Out came Jeff Hardy. They're starting to talk. And then AJ Styles came out. And then it was just a big smorgasbord. Styles attacked Hardy. Zayn was kind of waiting. He joined Styles. Styles attacked him. About to give him the Styles clash. Here came Jeff Hardy. They're going at it. A haluva kick to Hardy and AJ Styles. Sami Zayn gets the better end of the stick. I'd expect a three-way at Clash of Champions. Very well done segment. I thought that was really good. I'd like to see Zayn, maybe do Zayn and Hardy with AJ as the ref. I could be down for that. Good segment. And before the main event, WWE announced Jey Uso would be in the match. Otis tells Tucker doesn't keep the money in the bank in the big briefcase. He keeps it in this little itty bitty tiny briefcase. They cut the Morrison and Miz in the back. Morrison's all excited. Miz is like, "You ain't going to be able to cash that in anyway." Morrison's like, "Oh, yes, I am." He opens it, and there's a stapler. And I couldn't tell what kind of sandwich it was. It looked like salami. Or no, bologna, whatever it was called. Miz told him not to eat it. That was extremely well. That was like, it was cute. I thought that was a cute little segment there. And then Bray Wyatt, Firefly Funhouse, says someone new is coming next week to the Firefly Funhouse. They go right to Nikki Cross, who's watching on the screen. She's looking all scared and disheveled. Here came Alexa Bliss, telling her everything's okay. She's sorry for what happened last week. They hug, but Nikki still looked a little concerned. I think we're going to see Alexa Bliss next week in the Firefly Funhouse. Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt. If anyone a female can pull that off, it could be Alexa Bliss. She's so multi-dimensional. She's so good. It is disgusting how good she is. She doesn't get enough credit for how good she is. And then we get to the main event. And yes, you read that. You see that headline correctly. Jey Uso wins the main event to face Roman Reigns at Clash Champions for the Universal title. Now, before the match started, Riddle came out first. They went to break. I thought the thing when he kicked the sandals and the fireworks went off, that was pretty cool. And the little slow-mo thing before commercial, I like that. That was pretty cool. And then, so they come back from break, and because they come back, Riddle attacks Corbin. Sheamus comes out and helps out Corbin. And then here comes Jey Uso, and then they go to commercial. But then they go to commercial. Then they come back, and all four guys are standing there in the middle of the ring in each corner. What? Why wasn't that brawl continuing? Got to notice these little things. No one brings this stuff up. That makes no sense. Why would you go if all four guys are going at it, and then you go to commercial, they come back, and it's like, what? My mind's just blowing at that. Uso was cleaning out, getting near to the end of the match. A lot of 2-on-1 most of the time. One guy was on the outside. Standard WWE Fatal 4-Way. Uso started cleaning house, so he runs into Corbin. He tosses Corbin right over the barricade. Uso does a dive over to wipe out Riddle and Sheamus. Corbin comes up from behind, starts choking him. They battle on the outside, right in front of the LED wall. Corbin tosses Uso over. Get back in the ring. Riddle hits the bro to sleep on Sheamus, and then the falling bro on Corbin. And out of nowhere, Jey Uso hits the splash from the top rope, pins Matt Riddle, and Jey Uso is the number one contender. Yes, you read that correctly. The headline is read correctly, ladies and gentlemen. Jey Uso to face Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions for the Universal Championship. Now, I'm all about building new contenders. I am. I missed something, and I want to apologize. Before they go to the main event, this was after they announced Jey Uso in the match. Roman Reigns is back there. Jey Uso comes. And this is when I knew Jey Uso was winning. Comes back there, and they're talking, and Reigns is all nonchalant. He's on his phone. And Jey thanks him for getting him in the match. And Roman's like, no, thank Paul. Paul's the one who talked to Adam Pearce and got you in the match. And Jay's like, he's all excited. He's like, I'm going to win, and I'm going to face you for the Universal title, best man win. And Roman's like, let's see if you can win one by yourself. That's when you knew he was going to win. Now, I don't want to take nothing away from Jey Uso. I don't. Because I am a believer and I'm an honest believer of new talent getting a shot. Man. But this is kind of where we're rewarding bad behavior. He got arrested twice last year for DUI. Yes, I know people say, well, he was not guilty in one, and let's see. I just don't think guys who have gotten arrested, especially for DUI, where you can kill somebody, and we're going to reward you with a title opportunity. Yes, he was found not guilty. And I have a major problem with the guy who got 2 DUIs. And the video in the second one's obvious. This guy was driving drunk. Yes, people can change. I get it. But there was a reason WWE took them off the road for over 5 months. Almost 6 months. Tell the both of them to clean their acts up. Jimmy got hurt. But I can't find the justification here. And if you guys don't agree, cool. Leave comments. Leave questions. I'm all for talent getting opportunities. But opportunities are earned. Just because a guy stayed out of trouble for a little over a year doesn't mean we should reward him with opportunities. Him or her with opportunities. They're earned in and out of the ring. And I know we don't live in that type of society. I know we don't. I've been covering MMA, boxing, and wrestling for over 10 years. Trust me, I know talent in all three of those combat sports and entertainments entities, whatever you want to call them. They're going to get multiple chances. Is it fair? Absolutely not. I don't think it is. Because if I get 2 DUIs, even if I'm found not guilty, more than likely I'm getting fired from my job. Then my license is getting taken away. And it's going to be very hard for me to get a job. It would be. Me, you, all the fans, the people watching that are going to watch and then also listen to this in audio. If that's me, it's you. You're not going to get rewarded for a high caliber position. And don't get me wrong. I think Jey Uso is extremely talented. He showed tonight he can be in singles. I was really impressed with Jey Uso. But I'm sorry, you haven't even been back on the road with this company for more than a year. I don't even remember the last time I even seen Jey Uso before tonight. It's been a minute since he's been on SmackDown. And he gets rewarded with a title shot. What is it? And then you have him pin Matt Riddle? I know people are like, well, it was creatively done. And yeah, it was creative. But why isn't Corbin taking the pin there? Matt Riddle should not have been taking that pin. Corbin could have taken that pin. Sheamus could have taken that pin. But yet, Matt Riddle's taking the pin. I don't know what is with WWE lately and just setting bad precedents. They don't fire Velveteen Dream. They don't fire Austin Theory. They fired AOP today. You fire AOP, yeah, they were injury prone. I'm not going to say they weren't, but you got rid of a really good tag team. You get rid of a good tag team, but yet you don't file 2 pedophiles and a guy who has a problem. Alcohol is a problem. It's an addiction. No people that are alcoholics. It's an everyday issue. But we're rewarding people. We're giving people opportunities, letting them keep their jobs. Now we're giving, and what we see tonight is giving an opportunity. To me, that is horrible. It sets a bad precedent. I don't care what people say, it does. Jey Uso has not deserved this opportunity. You could have went with Matt Riddle. Yeah, Riddle is going to lose. Okay, but Riddle needs that experience. He's a main event talent who's stuck in neutral right now when he shouldn't be. Not be stuck and not be like, oh, Corbin's a upper mid card. Okay, if you want to give that, okay. But still, it's time to put Matt Riddle in the main event. Matt Riddle should have gotten this win here, not Jey Uso. Just because he's Roman Reigns' cousin? I'm sorry. That doesn't get me cousin versus cousin. Okay. You got a hook. Okay. The hook is there. But now you have to make, not me, but you got to make everyone believe that Jey Uso has a shot against Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions. Because right now, this is nothing more than a glorified squash. Not wrong. Right now, on paper, it's a glorified squash. You got to give me a reason now to believe that Roman Reigns is not going to run Jey Uso over on September the 27th. Give me a reason to believe what's going to be. Okay, the emotional hook just cannot be their cousins. Okay. We've seen brothers fight. Give me the story. Tell me a good story. Because right now, I'm not buying. I'm not interested. I will watch because it's my job. I will not watch. If I was a fan, I wouldn't watch this match. There's no hook yet. Maybe by September 25th, there'll be a hook. A good reason for me to watch the WWE Network and watch Jey Uso challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. All right, let's go. Let's see. Richard Mcphee. Michael Cole is cookie cutter, being told what to say in his headset. It's sad he has talent, but it's wasted. Michael Cole did stuff for the Persian Gulf War. That's how great of a reporter Michael Cole is. I have a ton of respect for all commentators in WWE. They go through a lot. I remember talking to Mick Foley. Mick Foley said it was horrible. It was petrified. It was terrifying. Something he would never do again. But no, Michael Cole, he was a war reporter. Michael Cole was awesome. Richard, Steve, what do you think of Tony Khan saying All Out was way better than WrestleMania? In my opinion, the AEW pay-per-view was not very exciting. It's lacking the cracks in AEW. The cracks in AEW starting to show. I don't think Tony Khan was very far off. I was on that call. I was working and I was on the call. I chuckled. I think nothing was better than, if you're looking at the show as a whole, it's not wrong. It's not. But actually, you know what? I agree with Tony Khan. And I'm sitting here thinking about it because that's a very good question. He's not wrong. I think Tony Khan's right. Don't get me wrong. I know the talent in WWE, they did the best they could. It was some really bad circumstances. I wouldn't even have done this show. I wouldn't have. That it was too soon. Everything going on. The world was turned upside down. For now, it's sort of flipped back. It's flipped back better. It's better than what it was. It's flipped back a little bit. But, man, I couldn't have. It was rough. And, when you got to May, things were a little bit better. These promotions had a little bit of a better grasp on things and how to do things. So, yeah, Double or Nothing was a better show. They were testing. Everyone there, you didn't have to worry about them having COVID. And Tony Khan's not wrong here. I think Tony Khan's 100% right here. It was. Pay-per-view was not very exciting. It's lacking the cracks. And the cracks in AEW starting to show. See, I disagree there. I'm getting this that where people feel like the pay-per-view All Out's lacking tomorrow. You got MJF and Jon Moxley. Kenny Omega and Adam Page against FTR. That's not lacking, everybody. And I know everyone was pretty disappointed in the last hour. I mean, you got Jericho and Orange Cassidy. I like the Britt Baker. I love Britt Baker. I'm glad they bumped that. Her and Big Swole, I'm glad they bumped that up to the main card. That's a fun show. I think it'll be better than Payback. Actually, it will be better than Payback. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. Young Bucks, Jurassic Express. But when you got Moxley and MJF, that match is gonna be awesome. Omega and Page against FTR, that's gonna steal the show. That's gonna rock the house. I think Jericho, it's a big match for Jericho and Cassidy. And Jericho on the big stage, I will always ride with Chris Jericho until he proves me wrong. The top part of that show was really good. You got the Bucks and Jurassic Express. I think that's going to be very good. You got that 6-man tag with that 8-man, I think, 6-man tag. Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, and Evil Uno against Stu Grayson against the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, Scorpio Sky, and Matt Cardona. That should be fun. Brody Lee's really stepped up. I like Colt Cabana. Scorpio Sky's been on a good run. Natural Nightmares, good workers. Cardona's got a lot. You've got guys with a lot, especially Cardona. This is a big spot for Matt Cardona, I think. I said it the other day, and I'm going to stick with it. This is 100, and I like the fact they're airing the pre-show, the countdown show. They were re-airing, and this is how much TNT's invested. After the NBA game tonight, they're going to air this past week's Dynamite on TNT. Then the countdown show is going to air at 5:30 Eastern, right before 90 minutes before the countdown, pre-show starts. So the way they're doing this is well done. I think the hype they're doing, the build they're doing, I think is extremely well done. It's a smart move by AEW, a smart move by Warner Media and TNT. It's 125,000 by pay-per-view, I think. Maybe between 125 and 140,000. We're going to learn. We're starting to get a little bit of a good indication of Moxley's drawing power. We're going to see how much it is tomorrow night because the promos leading up to this have been good. And the very end of Dynamite, I thought was extremely well done. Another one from Richard. The Usos need to get their own identity. The Usos run has run its course. Have run its course. Not wrong. They need to get their own identity. I agree with that. I do. I'm just not a fan of them getting chances. If it was not for affiliation with The Rock, he would have been future endeavored. That's a fact, including Nia Jax. Not wrong at all. The Rock's a bigger influence than people want to say. That statement is not wrong. It's 110% correct. I'm not a fan. You gotta prove yourself. I don't know, like Jeff Hardy. Getting pushed since he came back. Jeff Hardy majorly royally screwed up. Should have went to jail. But yet, Jeff Hardy survived jail. Looks like he's going to survive jail. And then is getting a push. Jey Uso. 2 DUIs in 2019. You know what, Jane? You get to keep your job. It's just, I don't get it. I don't. I try to understand. I try to get it. I just don't. It's like, why? Doesn't make any sense. It's just. He's arrested in January 2018 for allegedly driving under while intoxicated. In 2011, driving under the influence. It's like, how many DUIs does someone have to get? He's gotten 2 DUIs. Guy's got a problem. And yet we're still rewarding. What does it say about the wrestling business, guys, girls? Where we just constantly reward bad behavior. What does that show? Tells these people you can do what you want. Tells the kids that are watching, the demographic trying to hit, hey, it's okay. Here's an interesting take. They reward them because they don't want to ruffle feathers with The Rock, and they think Rock might have one more WrestleMania moment. I don't think The Rock's going to go out and put his life on the line for Jey Uso. I don't get it. I just don't. I don't understand. I try to get it, but and I meant Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso's gotten DUIs. Jimmy Uso's gotten DUIs. The Usos just have a problem with drinking. I do take that back. They both have been arrested for DUIs. I don't understand. Jimmy Uso with 2 DUIs. Jey Uso gets a DUI. He's had 2 DUIs. Why do these guys like drinking so much? It just doesn't. And I want to take that. And I do want to re-clarify. Jimmy Uso had 2 DUIs in 2019. Jey Uso's had 2 DUIs, one in 2011 and then one in 2018. And Jimmy had 2 DUIs. But Jey Uso will face Roman Reigns for the Universal title at Clash of Champions. I think a bad booking decision. Extremely poor. But who am I? I wouldn't have made him the number 1 contender. I think it should have went to Matt Riddle. But we'll see what happens. Maybe WWE will surprise us. We'll get a good story. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we do, because I think we should get a good story out of this. Because there's some semblance there of where this can be a very good story. Now, will they actually do it? I don't know. But we can hope. And hopefully, for their sake, I hope that is the case. Because I will say for Jey Uso, he stayed out of trouble for over 2.5 years. I hope for his sake he gets it together. And he can stand the straight and narrow. I know it's the 2 incidents were 8 years apart. I get it. But gotta keep it together. It's being an alcoholic, going through alcoholism, and knowing when not to and to not to drink. I can only imagine how difficult that is. It's hard to admit you have a problem. It really is. And hopefully he does. And hopefully we get a great match at Clash of Champions and I can be proven wrong. Because I want to see great wrestling. I want to see new guys get chances. I just don't. You get a guy that has really not been on TV and has had some past troubles. I know people say the same thing about Matt Riddle, and the case is valid. You can say that. Matt Riddle hasn't been found guilty of anything. Or Jey Uso has had 2 DUIs. One in January 2018, one in 2011. Jimmy Uso, and that shouldn't reflect on Jey. Because Jimmy Uso's had 2 DUIs in 2019. Was arrested for DUI, was convicted of 1, and found not guilty in the other. But hopefully, we get a good match, get a good story, and Jey Uso can stand straight and narrow, stay clean. Hopefully, he's on the right way to life. Because I hope he is. I think he showed tonight. And I'll say this, and we'll end with this. I think Jey Uso is a great talent. He showed tonight he can hang. He's got the skills. He's good on the mic. Let's see if he can make the most out of his opportunity, because he's got a shot now. He's got a chance. It's up to him now to deliver. Even if he gets bad things to say, bad things to do, make the best, regardless of the situation. Stay out of trouble, and good things will come to those. And we'll leave it at that. Thank you to everyone who watched tonight. Watch via YouTube. Subscribe to the Walkway to Fight Club YouTube channel. Just hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button. It'd be greatly appreciated. A lot of great interviews on there. The Miz, CM Punk, Bill Goldberg. I'm going to add the Bayley one up there. We got Alexa Bliss, Dakota Kai, Chris Jericho. There's a ton up there. Dana White, Chael Sonnen, Eddie Hearn, Deontay Wilder. There is a ton of awesome interviews up there, so definitely give that a whirl on the YouTube page. Watching via Facebook, it's not hard. Give a reaction to how you view the video, what you think, how good of a job I did. Like the Walkway to Fight Club Facebook page, and also hit that follow button. We're on Twitter at Walkway Fight. Also on Instagram, Walkway to Fight Club, all in lowercase letters. You can follow me on the old Twitter machine. Right there. At S. Muehlhausen Jr. Also, this will be up on the audio in the morning. You can just go iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. Subscribe, rate and review. Rate and review helps me out a ton. I can keep doing this podcast, so please rate, review, and please subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. We got a lot of cool interviews coming up. I'm gonna put the Miz one up. Got Bayley, Johnny Gargano, Chris Jericho, Lacey Evans, Deontay Wilder, Mario Lopez. I interviewed Mario Lopez, guys. AC Slater, Saved by the Bell. We previewed Wilder Fury 2. That was a whole ton of fun. But a lot of cool stuff. Please subscribe, rate, review. Just hit it. Boom! iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all your favorite podcasting platforms. Please do that. It would mean a lot. It's greatly appreciated. I will be back tomorrow night. I will be coming back. Maybe I'll have a special guest tomorrow. Maybe there'll be Daryl's not able to join me tomorrow, so we will have. I'm going to try to get a special guest for you guys, a wrestling journalist. We'll see if he would be able to do it. Don't forget, the Miz interview is on the YouTube channel. It will be available for audio. I'm going to put it up on Monday or Tuesday. More likely, it'll be for first thing Tuesday morning. I will see you guys tomorrow night. This is Steven Muehlhausen. Have a good rest of the night, and I'll see you guys on Saturday night after AEW's All Out 2. Peace. We're out of here.